with a Camera. Starring Charles Bronson.
I'm Mike Kovac, freelance photographer. Prize fighters and sports layouts are not my specialty. But this Joey Savoyan interested me. I had known him well as a nice kid on the east side, but growing up seemed to have turned him sour. Suddenly, he was belting newspaper men around, smashing up cameras. Joey Savoyan had turned into a regular tiger, so they said, but I meant to have a picture or two of him, with his claws out, if necessary.
You here again, Mike? I thought you went back to New York.
Not till I get the shots I want.
Look, Mike, don't make it rough, huh? Joey's just getting a shot at the title. Now, if he wants his privacy, that's his business.
Jasper, you're Joey's manager. Why don't you explain to him he's public property now, and as long as he's in the news, he's going to get his picture taken one way or another.
Mike, Joey don't want any. He's even hired a pug to guard the gate just so everybody gets the message. I mean it, Mike. You're going to get into trouble.
Is that a threat, Jasper?
Well, that pug's pretty tough. Ask Charlie.
This gorilla threw me over a hedge about an hour ago, Mike. I thought I was going to be the first man put into an outer orbit.
Maybe you didn't say please, Charlie.
What do you want?
I got a message for Joey Savoyan. He's an old neighborhood friend of mine.
I don't take messages from photographers, Mac. But I got one for you. Get out of here. Get out of here.
What's the matter with you, Joe? Are you trying to win a gold medal for being the most hated man in the country?
A fine watchdog you turned out to be, sir. What'd you do, take a bite out of yourself?
Who do you think you are, anyway?
All right. Go on, take your muscles outside. I'll take care of Mike here.
You're gonna knock him flat on his back, aren't you?
Well, I don't know. Now, that all depends. What do you think, Mike?
I think you better grow a whole lot bigger or go out and hire yourself a squad of Marines. That's what I think. And I'll tell you something else. When you made good as a fighter, the whole neighborhood adopted you as their all-time hero. Then when the news stories started to come out about what a miserable heel you are, they're all ashamed of you.
Oh, no.
Now, wait a minute. I was over at the champions camp. It took me 10 minutes to get a full series of shots. I come down here and I have to hold a debate with your manager and wrestle with his ex-pug here. Is that any way to treat a friend?
Look, why don't you shut up, huh?
Because there's nobody here big enough to make me shut up, least of all a punk like you. And I can lick you now just as I licked you the day you were running errands for my father.
Okay, Big Mouth. There's no shortage of gloves.
Hey, can I get a picture of you when you're flat on your back?
That meatball couldn't lick one side of me the best day he ever saw. All right, come on, Joey. Show me how tough you are. All right, let's see that big left, Joey boy. Hey, boy, let's go. I'm going to go back to the neighborhood and tell them how you eat grown men alive, Joey.
Hey, watch out for that guy. He never learned to fight like that in any YMCA.
What's the matter, Joey?
I better call Jasper.
Come on. You'll have to do better than that.
Now, look, you can't go in there, guys. You know the rules. Joey don't perform for no public. Why don't you go have some more sandwiches, huh?
Come on, let's have that big punch.
Hey, Joey, what happened, sir? Well, why don't you go in and see for yourself? Joey, look, let go, will ya? Don't wake him up yet. Let us get our pictures first. All right, Hercules, you're in the wrong league. It's all out and change for the local.
We're proud of you, boy. I want to tell you, we're proud. With a picture like this, we can all go back to New York. Is this a pro? Is this a dedicated man?
I guess I went begging for it. He's a sweet guy, isn't he?
He's such a shrimp lamb, he's going to fill Yankee Stadium like a shoebox. Just with people who want to see him get murdered.
Well, you can't win them all. You're going back to New York with us, aren't you?
Not till I get my pictures.
But we've got it right here, like I told you. Mike Kovac scores again. This has to be better than Furple knocking Dempsey through the ropes. Any one of the boys, myself included, will be happy to make you up a nice set of prints.
Why don't you shut up? Help me out with the gloves.
Sure, Mike. All jokes aside, you'll never get a picture of that young gorilla unless you burn down the house.
You got any matches?
Good evening. What'll you have?
I'd like the small steak, man.
Why don't you try the spare ribs?
Why?
They're pretty good. And besides, we got an awful lot of them left over since all those other newspaper fellas went back to New York. You been to the Champs Camp or Joey Savoyans?
I tried them both.
That Joey. Oh, boy.
What about him?
He's a real killer, ain't he? How about that silly jerk he belted out today, huh?
What do you mean, silly jerk?
Some newspaper photographer. I figured you must know him. He goes and puts on the gloves with Joey Savoyan. Now, I ask you, what kind of a knucklehead would pull a stunt like that, huh?
I'll have the spare ribs.
Good. One set of ribs.
Coming right up.
Mike? I'm Dolly McDermott. I don't know that you'll even remember me.
Dolly? Dolly from the old neighborhood, Elizabeth Street? Well, sit down.
Thank you. Gee, I couldn't have been more than 15 years old when we moved from there. But I guess girls grow up pretty fast.
Yeah, I guess they do. How's your family?
Oh, they're fine. And how's your dad?
Oh, he's fine. He still has that little photo studio, you remember? What are you doing way up here, Dolly?
Well, Joey phoned me. So I borrowed a car from a friend and drove up from New York. He had a feeling you'd be somewhere here in the village.
Joey Savoyan? A clinker like him and a girl like you?
Oh, now, wait a minute, Mike. Now, just hold it right there.
All right, forget it. I guess I'm not out to reform the will.
Mike, listen. Joey feels very badly about what happened this afternoon.
I bet he does.
He needs you.
What's he want to do, belt me again? Now, listen to me, Dolly. I was up there today for hours. He could have talked to me then if he wanted to. So don't give me any of that dear old pals routine. The next time I see dear Joey boy, I'm going to be carrying a baseball bat.
You, of all people, believing all these ridiculous stories that are being circulated about him. Look, all I can tell you is things are not what they seem to be. Well, won't you even listen?
Something for the lady?
Have something to drink. How about some coffee?
Okay, coffee.
Okay. You were saying?
I don't know what I was saying, except that he's in trouble and he needs your help. Look, Joey phoned me today right after he'd seen you this afternoon. And he said it just occurred to him how you could help him out of all this mess he's in. He wants you to come out to the camp tonight after dark. That is, if you're willing. And he'll see to it that the rear door of his cabin is unlocked.
What's all the cloak and dagger business?
Mike, believe me, I don't know the details. All I know is that he begged me to have you come out tonight to bring your camera and just listen to what he has to say.
Tell me barbecue sauce has some very good healing qualities. Or would you rather I get you an ice bag for your head? The late New York papers just came in. You were so modest about it. Why didn't you tell me it was you?
Oh, Mike, please don't let this keep you from going back out, please.
I'll give it one more try, but I'll tell you right now. I don't know what I need most, a picture to top this one or a new set of brains.
This is fine, Mike. Joey wanted us to park a little way from the house where we wouldn't be seen.
Well, here goes.
Good luck.
Well, Joey,
Hi, Mike.
I had dinner with Dolly. She said I was supposed to bring a camera.
Look, I'm sorry about what happened this afternoon.
Oh, that's all right. Forget it.
Come on and sit down, will you?
Thanks.
It's not that easy to forget, Mike. Look, I hope you'll listen to me. You know, all this killer boy talk, this making out like I walk around with a bloody skull hanging under each arm, it's phony, Mike. It's just all part of the build-up. You believe me, don't you?
Well, I don't know yet.
Well, I have to admit, it wasn't hard to make the act look good. I've always fought like a hoodlum in the ring. Ever since the Golden Gloves, it's the only way I know how to fight. But all this talk about how I love to hit photographers and reporters, and well, that's just as phony as everything else that's happened to me.
Phony as everything else. Joe, you trying to say something?
Yeah, I'm trying to say something. I'm trying to tell you what I found out just yesterday. Look, you know all these fights that I had that made me into such a big sensation?
Yeah.
They were fixed.
They were what?
They were tank jobs. Joe Shrine, Mel McCormick, Otto Paul, all three of them dove into that tank like seals after a sardine.
Well, Joey, did you know anything about this?
No, I didn't.
Nothing at all?
Mike, I swear to you, I didn't know a thing about it.
Why should Jasper tell you now all of a sudden?
Well, there wasn't any reason to before. I was supposed to win the other ones. I didn't have to be in on them. But this time, Mike, it's a little different. This one I'm supposed to lose. But they have to be sure. You see, all these phony knockouts have me going into tomorrow night as a favorite, so all they have to do is bet with the champion and they'll clean up.
What are you going to do, Joe? You going to go along with him? Well, answer me. Either you're a crook that's going to play ball or you'll tell him where to go. Why is it so complicated?
Because I'm not just dealing with Jasper this time, or Sal Benning, or his manager. This time, Mike, I'm dealing with Willie Fletcher. He's behind the whole thing.
Willie Fletcher? Wow. How scared are you, Joey?
I'm real scared. But I'm a lot more scared about some people I care about. Dolly, for instance, or my old man. Look, Mike, this time I'm up against a guy who uses guns.
Yeah, he uses guns. He's a big man in the rackets. Now, look, Joey, where do I fit in?
Fletcher's coming over here tonight. Jasper's going to bring him here in about a half an hour.
He's coming here? But why here?
Well, they figure I'm a little green at this larceny business, and I want to set up kind of a dress rehearsal for the dive I'm supposed to take.
That's a nice social gathering, a real nice group.
Look, Mike, I don't want to go through with this fight, but I've got some people I've got to protect. Now, if I'm going to try and run out on Willie Fletcher, well, I've got to have some ammunition of my own.
What do you mean, ammunition?
I want a picture of him. I want a picture of him and Jasper and me here in this room. And then tomorrow morning, I want this picture in every newspaper in the country tying him in with this fix. I want that thing spread so far and so wide that he won't dare touch Dolly or my own man. Now, maybe you understand why I asked you to come here.
Joey, pictures are my business. I was wondering how long it was going to take you to ask me.
You do it? You'll give it a try?
If you're willing to throw $100,000 down the drain, of course I'm willing to try. But I want this to be a picture no one will ever forget. Now, the champ, he must be in on this, right?
The great Sal Benning, the model champion? Look, Mike, he was in on this thing from the first day this fight was arranged.
And I want him in the picture, too. I want this wrapped up so clean and tight that Fletcher will spend the next 10 years behind bars.
Yeah, but Jasper didn't say anything about bringing him along.
Hey, where is Jasper now?
Well, he's over at the Champ's picking up Fletcher. They're going to give me a ring just before they leave.
Well, that's good. When he calls, you tell him you want the champ here.
Oh, no, Mike, no. I don't think they'll buy that.
Well, tell them they've got to buy it. Tell them you're a little bit nervous and you don't want to leave anything to chance. You want to go over the whole thing step by step with Sal.
Well, look, what if they get wise? What?
Come on, answer it. It hasn't got teeth. And tell them what I told you to tell them.
Hello? Jasper? Oh, no, everything's fine. Except I've been thinking, I'm a little anxious about this thing, and I was wondering if we might try this. Back to here, I can see him from the porch. Does it look all right?
Looks okay to me.
Are you sure we haven't forgotten anything?
I don't think so. No, there should be enough light.
Everything okay, sir?
Yeah, okay. I don't like this burglar routine. Suppose someone sees me here.
Nobody else see you.
Why do we have to bother drawing pictures for this clown? It's simple enough, isn't it? He goes out in the 6th round when I hit him on the chin.
Champ. Just do exactly as you're told.
Joey, check me back here.
Right.
Joey, how's it look?
It looks all right. Yeah, that should work if you don't make any noise. And if you live long enough.
What's the matter with you?
There's nothing the matter with me.
You look a little nervous.
Well, maybe I'm just the nervous type, huh?
Too many lights. All right, Jasper. This is your kind of package. Tell them what you had in mind.
All right. Sam?
Hello, Joker.
Now, the first thing I want you boys to remember is you fight your regular kind of fight for the first 5 rounds. Now, I want no mistakes. Like a guy bringing up a punch from the socks and belting the other guy out. Now, in the 6th.
Go on, Jasper. Get on with it.
Like I was saying, we're in the 6th now. Now, Joey, you got an aggressive style. It's natural for you to push the fight.
Right.
You're getting close to Sal, punching the body like you always do, see? Now, here. Just about that time, see, in the 6th, Sal will flip out his mouthpiece like he always does. You know, he does it all the time. It's like a characteristic.
All right.
There'll be no tip-off to anybody but you. This is when you step in with a big right hook, like that, see?
Mm.
All right, you try it now. Slow motion. Big right hook. That's it. Great. Now, Sal, straight right inside the hook. If Joey catches on the chin, it's 100%. All right, let's go. Come on. Now, straight right. Now!
Please don't let it be Joey, please.
Where'd he go?
I don't mind.
Well, it would have made a good picture, Willie. But I guess you can't win them all.
I ought to make you eat it, Kovac. I ought to make you eat it like a billy goat.
Boy, you talk tough. You scare me, Willie. How do you know I didn't phone the State Athletic Commission hours ago, huh?
Because you're a lousy liar. If you'd have phoned the commission, they'd be here already. Like a 5-alarm fire. I don't suppose I have to tell you that you're not going back to New York until this fight's over. And maybe not then. You know too much, even without the picture. Go to your room. And remember what you've learned. Joey, boy, the fight's going on tomorrow night. Nothing's changed. Except that your friend Kovac here is in pretty deep. Well?
No. No, there isn't going to be a fight tomorrow night, Fletcher. You can't drag a grown man into a ring in front of 50,000 people, can you?
Easy, Joey, easy. It's not worth it.
No, it's worth it. No, I'm sick and tired of crawling on the floor like a dog for you, Fletcher. Not for you, or for him, or for anybody. I'd rather be dead first.
You will be, Joey. I can guarantee that. Well?
Hold it. Come on, try me. You want? All right, you want to try me? Come on. Willie, you want to try me?
Joey? Joey, are you all right?
Yes, it's all right. Yes.
Dolly, what made you throw the rock?
What made me throw the rock? Well, I looked in the window and I was scared to death.
Sure glad you did. Easy, Sal. Easy.
No. No, let him, Mike. Come on, this will be the only honest shot I'll ever get at him. Come on.
Wait, Joy, don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. Here, hold this. This'll make a lovely picture in tomorrow's papers, Willie. Maybe they can run alongside the one I took of you earlier.
The roll I tore up? That's no good.
You don't think I'm that dumb, do you? I switched film. We were playing hide and seek back there in the woods. Willie, like a friend said to me this afternoon, I'll be happy to make you up a whole set of prints. After I call the police.
a Camera. Starring Charles Bronson.
I'm Mike Kovac. As a freelance photographer, I usually decide the kind of pictures I want to take, but not always. Sometimes the choice is outside my control and begins with someone else in another part of the city. Hello.
Hello, Kovac?
Yeah, who's this?
Never mind. I got a hot tip for you. You're a photographer, aren't you?
Yeah, but I don't play games over the telephone with strangers.
I don't play games either. I'm doing you a favor, Kovac. If you want a great picture, you'll be at the corner of Myers Street and Brooklyn Avenue at 10 o'clock tonight.
Winkler? Is he still there?
Yes.
You know what to do.
Mr. Markey, I don't like this very much. Whatever you're going to do, I just assume...
Winkler, you pull that switch when he comes out so I'll know it's him.
Then you keep your mouth shut, right?
Yes, sir. Right.
Remember, you're a family man. Now what? We wait. Right on time. Now it's Bartlett's turn.
An anonymous phone call, leading to an almost deserted late-at-night street. I didn't like it. But if you're to make a living with your camera, you don't pass up any kind of a tip.
Hey, what's this all about? You know what it's all about, Bartlett. Kovac! Come over here, Kovac, and get that picture I promised you. I said come over here, Kovac, and don't forget to bring your camera.
Are we still playing games?
Like I told you, I don't play games.
I suppose I should have expected something like this.
Take his picture, Kovac. Go ahead. Take a picture of a man who likes to talk too much.
You want pictures taken, you take them yourself.
I said, take his picture. I got no quarrel with you, Kovac. But so help me. You take his picture. You take his picture or I'll blow your insides out.
Your scrapbook.
You haven't finished yet. Take another one. I said take another one.
You'll never get away with this.
Take it now.
Operator, it's JM29970. Would you give me the police, please? Quickly as you can. You can turn that light on now. It's right above your head. Well, there you are. There's your picture.
Oh, I gotta hand it to you, Kovac. You're a pretty sharp man with a camera.
Yeah, if you like that kind of picture.
I know what you mean. Makes you lose your appetite.
Who was he?
His name was Sam Bartlett, a local merchant. Honest, hard-working, wife and 3 kids.
Got any idea who did it?
Yeah. Guy by the name of Markey. Glenn Markey. You sure were a big help to him tonight?
No, wait a minute.
These pictures get into a newspaper or a magazine, Mr. Kovac, and you'll be in partnership with a murderer.
What are you talking about?
Glenn Markey runs a protection racket. He's got the local merchants so scared they've been paying off without a peep. All except one, a newcomer to the neighborhood, Sam Bartlett. So, Markey killed him tonight and had you there to take pictures. As a very graphic reminder to the others that Markey means business.
Well, now, look, if you know it was Markey, why don't you just pick him up and charge him?
I can't prove anything. You'd better call in. Now, there's only one way to nail Markey, but I need your help to put it over.
Sure. You want me to hold up the pictures till you gather more evidence? It's all right with me.
Well, I'd like you to do more than that. Instead of these pictures appearing in tomorrow's papers, I'd like to plant a story that says the police have an eyewitness, a photographer, who could identify the killer. You.
Abrams, I already told you, they both wore masks. I couldn't identify either one of them if they walked in the door.
I know that. You know it, but Markey doesn't. You see, up to now, Markey's played it pretty cool. That's why we haven't been able to nab him. But tonight he had to resort to violence. And if my hunch is right, he won't stop. And if he should try something again, we could be on hand to grab him.
What's the matter with you? I could end up like Bartlett did.
You want to see us get Markey, don't you?
Sure, you give me a buzz when you pick him up. Look, Abrams, I risk my neck sometimes taking pictures. Well, that's all right. It's my business, but it's not my business to go out catching killers. That's yours.
I'll guarantee you full protection.
You can't guarantee me anything, and you know it. What you want is a pigeon. Well, I'm not it. I like being alive.
So did Sam Bartlett.
Sure, look what it got him.
Sorry. I guess it was just a case of mistaken identity.
Now, what's that supposed to mean?
I checked on you. The boys downtown said you didn't scare easily. I guess they must have meant somebody else. You got a fine set of pictures, Kovac. They should bring you a good price.
Hope I didn't get you out of bed.
No, Michael, never before midnight. Come, I will make us some tea. It's terrible, terrible. Michael, you must be very careful. You must do exactly as the police says.
Now, wait a minute, Pop.
A man who would do such a terrible thing like this.
There's nothing to worry about. I already told him I wouldn't do it.
The police asked for my son's help, and he refused them?
Now, don't you start on me, too. Why should I stick my neck out?
And if you don't, what will happen to the man who did this terrible thing?
This is none of my concern, Pop.
Michael, why did you come here tonight?
It's like I told you. I wanted to see you, have a glass of tea. Do I need a reason to come here?
No. But tonight, yes, there was a reason. You wanted me to agree with you that you were right in refusing to help the police. But I won't, Michael. You are the only thing I have in this world. But I won't help you make such a mistake.
Bob, now you just listen to me. The police can't guarantee me any real protection, and I might just end up like this.
Then it is because you are afraid, Michael?
Well, of course I'm afraid.
I'm sorry, Michael. I have no argument against fear. It is a terrible thing. You must decide by yourself.
Oh, I already have, Pop. I guess I decided back there with Lieutenant Abrams. I suppose I came here for one last try, that's all. I'll call him. Say, I want to speak with Lieutenant Abrams.
But Mike...
It's all right, Pop. Lieutenant, if it's not too late, I'm your clay pigeon.
Hello, Kovac. What's the matter? You nervous?
You know it. Well, I made my normal rounds today, and I didn't see anything. And I didn't see any of your boys either. You sure I'm getting police protection?
The best. That's why you didn't see them. What's your schedule? Where do you go from here?
Oh, I'm going to go down and see my father for a while, then I'll go eat.
Wait a minute. You didn't tell me last night that you had a family.
Well, I don't, just a father. You didn't ask anyhow.
Where's he live? Here in the city?
The Lower East Side. Why?
Don't worry, I'll phone the station right away and take care of it. What's his address?
I talked to my father a half hour ago. He told me he had to hang up. He had a customer, a guy who made the appointment this morning.
That telephone work? Yeah. Call him.
Operator, this is JM2 9970. Would you get me Canal 61098, please?
Let's go.
She's not here. What's that? Abrams, you better get on the ball and quick.
And take it easy, will you, Mike?
You just call up your men and have them pick up Marky.
That's not going to do your father any good. Give me a chance to get something on Marky. He's not going to do anything right away. He'll wait for us to make the first move.
Not us. Me. As of now, you're out of it.
You can't do that.
You just watch me, Abrams. Father's in a lot of trouble because of me, and I don't see any other way out. Now, how do I get in touch with Glenn Markey?
The Meadowbrook Real Estate Company. That's his front, but this is the wrong way to do it.
Information. I want the number of the Meadowbrook Real Estate Company. You got any better ideas?
Yeah, you can let me handle it. Like you said last night, you're the photographer, I'm the cop.
Nothing doing. They picked up my father because they want me out in the open away from the police. Thank you. So if that's what they want, that's what they'll get.
Meadowbrook Realty.
Listen, this is Mike Kovac. I want to speak to Glenn Markey about my father.
Mr. Markey is gone for the day.
Well, it's very important that I get in touch with him. You know it and I know it, so let's stop kidding around.
All right. Be on the corner of Herkimer and Lexington. Tonight, 11 o'clock. Wait in a car in front of the telephone booths till one of them rings.
I'll be there. If I can get face to face with Markey, I got a chance of convincing him that I didn't see anything last night.
Well, what if you can't convince him?
I'll play it by ear from then on.
Oh, look, Mike, this isn't the right way.
Abrams, let me handle it my own way, will you? And stay away from me, you and your men, far away. And I mean it.
This is Abrams. I'm on stakeout the Iris Theater on Meyer near Brooklyn Avenue. I need another car to cover the back. Now be sure to tell him to stay out of sight. We can't let Kovac know we're anywhere near this place.
He just walked in. Good. I don't know why it had to be here.
Why not? It's perfect. When the show lets out at 12:04, we hustle him out the back. Carver will have a car waiting in the alley. Go for a little ride, and no more eyewitness.
Well, what about the old man?
Don't look so upset, Winkler. It'll all be over in a little while.
I'd better check the lobby.
Sure. Sure, you do that.
Give me the phone.
Lieutenant.
Yeah, what is it, Harry?
The car just pulled into the alley parked behind the theater. One man. Looks like he's waiting for somebody.
Okay, keep your eye on. Things start popping on Newton Avenue.
Okay, Lieutenant.
We'll wait a couple more minutes. If he doesn't come out, I'll have to go in and get him.
All set? Nobody hanging around? Nothing suspicious?
Mr. Markey, please, I don't want to go through with this.
Look, Winkler, don't give me any trouble. You just stay out here and keep an eye on the door. I'll get Kovac in the car and then come back for his old man. Hello, Kovac.
Markey?
Sorry to have kept you waiting. These things take some time to arrange. You ready to come along?
No.
I got a car waiting out back. You don't want me to take you to see your old man?
I'm not going anywhere with you, Markey, not on your terms.
Then, how about these terms?
Markey, you made a big mistake letting me sit here too long. You gave me time to think. I was scared when I walked in here, but I'm not now.
Okay, so you're not scared. But this gun says that you're coming along with me.
Well, this gun says I'm not.
You're bluffing.
Well, now, you just think about that when these slugs start ripping into your body. Maybe it'll be a comfort to you. Now, what'd you do with my father?
I'll beat you, Kovac. I'll cut you in two before you ever pull the trigger.
You won't take that chance, Markey. You're not brave enough to die. That's what I was thinking about while I was waiting for you. Now, where's my father?
You don't want to die either.
Markey, I've got nothing to lose. If I leave with you, I die anyhow. I'm giving you 3 seconds to tell me where he is. 1.
I'm warning you, Kovac, for the last time. You better start getting smart.
2.
Don't try it, Kovac.
Hold it right there. Don't move now. Open up! It's the police!
Where are they?
It was Markey. He made me do it. It wasn't my fault. He forced me.
Where are they?
They're inside. The old man's in the office, in the closet. I didn't want to hurt him. It was all Markey.
You stay here. Turn on the lights in there. All right, Markey. You're all done. Kovac, where are you?
Right here.
What you doing? Easy, your father's in the office. Bring him along.
Pop, you all right?
I'm fine, Mike.
I'll finish it.
Fine.
You sure you're all right, Pop?
Positive. Only one thing, Michael.
What's that, Pop?
You were right. These things are too dangerous for people like us. Next time the police ask, you tell them no.
But, Pop, you said that...
Anything you say, Pop. This is Weaverville, a quiet little town, not 100 miles from the biggest, noisiest city in the world. And I'm Mike Kovac, freelance photographer, doing the kind of photo layout I like best. Pictures of plain people looking happy, looking mad, in any way I find them. I had been introduced around town by an old friend, Eli Jenkins, who was both constable of the town and editor of its weekly newspaper. He had made only one stipulation, that I get a flattering picture of the town banker. That's fine, Mr. Danton, just fine. That's great, thank you very much.
Just call on me anytime, Mr. Kovac. Anytime at all.
All right, I will. Now, if I can get a wide-angle shot of the bank with everybody busy at their jobs.
My name's Terry Colleen, and this is a stick-up.
Go on, Dan.
Now, see here, young man. Mr. Danton, look out. You'll never get
Okay, photographer, take my picture. Come on.
Come on, hurry it up. Let's go down. You. Come on. I said, come on. Let's go.
Oh, wait a minute, this is where I get off.
Hey, Dan, you wanted to change cars? Well, here we go with the cameraman and all these picture stuff. Come on, fella, you drive.
Take the camera, the car. You don't need me anymore.
Yes, we do. Come on. You and your picture stuff in the back. Come on, Dan.
This gun says I'm going to see how I look in those pictures. Maybe you can be my publicity man. Get moving.
With a Camera, starring Charles Bronson.
This is my portable darkroom. I built it for field trips. I can develop and print pictures wherever I am, day or night. There are vacuum bottles for keeping developing solutions at the right temperature, solution trays, printing paper, everything. I can bring these prints out into the sunlight in a few seconds.
Keep an eye on him, Danny. He looks like a frisky picture man. I like this one, Kovac. You're good. You're a real good photographer, Kovac. You a pretty big shot photographer?
Well, most photographers have heard of me, if that's what you mean.
And then what I have to do now, I'm sorry for, Kovac. I guess this is what you call a photo finish, huh? Thanks for the picture.
No, wait a minute. Is one print enough?
What's that mean, is one print enough?
Well, you know, Colleen, you take a real good picture.
Yeah, I do.
In fact, I can go along with you, take more pictures, Colleen.
Why?
I don't think my reasons would interest you.
Just try me, Kovac.
All right, but send them to the newspapers, the magazines.
Kovac, that's just exactly what I would do. You know that I pulled 4 jobs in 3 days? It's about time I got more publicity. What paper would you send it to, Kovac?
Well, I'd suggest that newspaper in Weaverville. The editor's a friend of mine. His name is Jenkins. Now, he'd see that it got good circulation. The wire services, the big city dailies.
Can't you see he's just stalling, looking for a chance to escape?
Shut up, Dan. Put handcuffs on him. I want you to take this picture, find yourself a farmer. Give him $5. Ask him to deliver that paper in Weaverville. You got a girl, Kovac? I got a girl. She got honey-colored hair. She's a college girl. Junior in college. Now let them have school who wants it. Don't put their pictures in no papers.
Where are we going from here?
You're gonna photograph me. Genuine photographs of a one-man crime wave. And we're gonna end up at Lone Pine. About 6 more days it opens. My girl will be up there.
Lone Pine? Where's that?
You'd like Lone Pine. She was alive when we got up there. Kovac. I can shoot the eyebrow off a grasshopper at 200 feet. Don't you ever try nothing.
Maybe we ought to get out an extra, Mr. Jenkins. Otherwise, we don't hit the streets till Friday.
An extra, yes. Now for the headlines. Keep them simple and to the point. Elmer Danton shot down by egomaniac. Famous photographer kidnapped. A wild man, dressed like he was from another world. Simple but tough. Elmer was my best friend.
Is that it, Jenkins?
Farmer brought it in. Said someone gave him $5 to deliver it to the Tribune.
Any description of the man who gave it to him?
Not good enough. Are you going out after the killers?
I have orders to stay here. The state police are after them. The FBI. Every sheriff within 300 miles has been alerted.
And can I borrow your police car? I want a fast car. I want to go after the killers who shot down my friend personally.
I'll have to say no, Jenkins. You go back to being editor of the Tribune.
Be sure and put in something about how they forced Mike Kovac to drive them off in his camera car.
What about the picture?
Blow it up, Abel. Let an arrow point at poor Elmer's bleeding body. Big, bold headlines. Plaster the front page, Abel.
Yes, Mr. Jenkins. Nothing sensational.
You stand right here, Kovac, and you can get your pictures.
Don't worry, folks. This is just another holdup.
Where's the money, fella?
Kovac, get me a profile just as I get the money out.
Kovac, that wasn't no profile. My head was down.
Come on, Klein, we gotta move.
You're gonna learn to do what I say, Kovac, or I'm gonna shoot off both your ears. Picture man, you're not attending to your trade. Now come on, let's get on our horses. Put the heads off the pack.
I don't understand it. An old pro like you? How long you been teamed up with this madman?
None of your business, Kovac.
You afraid, Danny?
You keep your nose in that solution out of my business.
Look, Danny, now, don't get nervous. But he's sitting back there cleaning his gun. This gives us an advantage if we wanted to bust loose from here.
We?
Yeah, you too. I know you'd like to, but you're afraid.
Then join me. And you'll be afraid, too. And listen, if you keep afraid when he's around, you'll last longer. That boy knows how to handle himself.
I got eyes in the back of my head and ears like a hawk.
that for?
That's for listening. You get to work, Kovac. I picked up Danny Boy in a bar. I told him how we could pick up a couple of bucks. Hurry up, Kovac.
It's ready.
You call yourself a picture man? Look at this.
What's the matter with it?
What's the matter with it? I don't like Danny Boy's ugly mug spoiling a shot, that's what. And I don't want my face and no paper.
Just simmer down, Dan.
Listen, Kovac. Tomorrow, you get me, see? A real nice picture of just me without this dude's face spoiling it.
He did it deliberate, just to mark me for the cops. Don't send it in.
It gets sent in just like the rest of them to that paper in Weaverville, Dan. Don't worry, Danny Boy. He ain't gonna spoil another picture with your face. Will it, Kovac?
Yours will do.
Egomaniac killer crossed last night into the little town of Maryville. Held up a cafe and vanished into the night. Got all that down, Abel?
Yep. We arrived this morning.
Gilligan, you better let me go after them. I'm a good enough shot, you know.
Come on, Jenkins. We've been through all that.
Notice how badly composed that picture is. Killing almost out of it. It seems to feature that orangeade sign. Burton Orangeade.
So?
The day after this robbery, they hit the town of Burton.
Probably just a coincidence.
No, sir. 3 times now, Kovac has given me a clue with a badly composed picture. The first time was when he positively identified Danny Penrose for us. The second was that gas station holdup. He managed to get that highway sign into a corner of the picture, the one that said Medford 80 miles, and sure enough, that's where they hit next. And now this Burton Orangeade thing. Make no mistake about it, Gilligan. Kovac's talking to us with his camera.
I don't know. You may be right.
I might as well tell you something else, Gilligan. Even if I am just the Weaverville constable, I'm going out after them when the time comes.
Well, when will that be?
The next time Mike Kovac tells me where to look.
Okay, you guys load up the back. Well, how do you like your new wagon, Kovac? I traded your old one in on this new one.
We're going to Lone Pine. Go up and see my college girl. I'm assuring my publicity.
Where is this Lone Pine place?
Kovac, you know you're a lousy photographer. You haven't once got me in profile. I think I ought to kill you right now.
You do that and you'll never make the big time.
What do you mean the big time? I'm famous. I'm on every newspaper.
Well, you're not famous until you make the cover of a big magazine.
What about the magazines?
You say you're pretty good with that gun?
I'm the best.
You're the best, but who knows it?
Nobody knows it. Nobody knows nothing when I shoot. They just go to sleep. Bye-bye. Now, what about these magazines? How could I get on the cover?
Well, the surest way not to is to get rid of me.
How could I?
Show the world how good you are with that gun.
Okay. You just get your little camera ready.
You see that little pine cone on top of the tree there?
Mm-hmm.
You think you could hit it?
Just watch me.
Now get a little closer to the tree. A little bit more. Right there. Now, wait a minute. I'll tell you when. Okay, you get ready? Ready? Now.
There isn't a town within 1,000 miles called Lone Pine.
Well, it is a pine, isn't it?
Well, it sure enough looks like a pine tree, but...
Just one lone pine.
Sure looks like he left most of Killeen out of it.
And Killeen's a hot news item. Like I told Gilligan, Kovac's talking to us with his camera. This picture features a pine tree. Just one lone pine.
Sure is a mystery to me. As far as that goes, here's a lone pine, but it ain't a town.
Lone Pine Lodge up in Blue Valley Mountains.
Could they have circled back? It's only about an hour's drive from here.
In my car, about 3 hours.
Yeah, and Gilligan's out on a patrol.
No matter. I figured this is something I'd have to do myself. For you, get ready to put out another extra. Nothing sensational. Keep it simple and to the point. Not like those big city tabloids.
I know.
Daddy, there's a car outside. Daddy!
Sarah, I'm back. I'm back, baby. From now on, it's just gonna be you and me. I'm famous! I'm famous! I'm famous, Sarah! Hello, old man. I'm back, old man. I'm famous. No more carrying your garbage. Kovac? This is my girl, Sarah Kovac. She's a college girl. Sarah? Picture man's gonna take our picture together, Sarah.
Wait a minute, Colleen. Give her some more time. I can still hear her crying in there. Well, now look, what kind of picture can I take if her face is stained with tears?
Why are you still crying?
You shot her father.
But he was no good, Kovac. He despised me. He said that I wasn't good enough for her. Why are you still crying? Your father treated me like a servant. I worked here. 3 summers I worked here, and he made me carry his garbage. And I'm famous! I'm famous!
Colleen, why don't you give her more time?
She's my girl, Kovac.
You engaged or something?
No.
Why do you think she's your girl?
Shut up, Dan.
There's a car coming in.
See what it is, Dan. I'll take care of Kovac.
Drove on. The driver saw the closed sign.
Okay, Kovac, I'm tired of waiting. Now, you take the picture of me and Sarah.
You asked me, we gotta get rid of Kovac and get out of here.
Nobody asked you, Dan. We'll get rid of Kovac as soon as he takes this picture of me and my college girl. Hey, wait a minute. What's the matter? He didn't... What's the matter, baby? Don't you want your picture taken with me? You're just like your father. You think just because you went to college you're too good for me, huh? Kovac, get a picture of this and get me in profile just as I pull the trigger. Kovac!
No. got another picture for you, a much bigger picture.
What picture, Kovac?
Now you listen to me. Who cares about one crummy college girl? You think she can get your picture on a magazine cover?
Got a better idea?
Yeah, I got a better idea. You let that girl go, and I'll take the greatest photograph ever taken. A photo of you killing me. Well, now listen, Killeen. You'll have a picture of that bullet coming right at me. But only if you let that girl go.
She's my girl, Kovac.
Well, now, you just look at her. Is she worthy of you? What's the matter with you, man? Don't you have any pride? Let the girl go, and I'll take the greatest photo ever taken of you sending that little bullet right at me. The greatest shot in the country, a really famous guy, that's you. Get your picture on a magazine cover, maybe. Look at her, a girl. You know girl pictures are a dime a dozen?
You're right, Kovac.
All right. Why don't you get her out of here? She's just spoiled the picture.
Beat it, Sarah.
Come on, get out.
You can't let her go, Killeen. Kovac's just trying to save her.
Danny boy, where can she run to? She can't go anywhere for help.
Beat it, Sarah!
Just one more thing.
And what's that?
Give her time to get a head start.
Step outside, Danny boy, and let me know when she's down the road a piece. You know, Kovac, I admire you. You saved the dame, even if she isn't worth a dime a dozen. Now, you be sure and catch that little bitty bullet, Kovac.
Is it him, crash helmet killer?
Yes.
Go back there and hide against the house.
Hey, Killeen!
Duck down. Take cover. Shot left, just one, and I can't see a thing.
Now hold it. You think you could fire fast enough if I set off a flash?
I can try.
All right, now look. You'll only get a real quick look. We'll wait until he fires so we can see the general direction. All right? In profile.
Kovac, don't get all shook up, man. We're not here to cause trouble.
Oh, man, we're here to uncause it.
Just a boyish prank, you understand, Mr. Kovac. Brewster never meant to keep that camera.
Out.
Why get salty, Dad? Cool it, will ya? I mean, we made a special trip all the way across town, you know.
What Rooster's trying to say is, we thought you'd show us those pictures you took tonight.
Why, you're not in any of them anyhow.
You mean you printed them already?
Yeah. Stay out of there.
56 to 76 in Morningside. Ambulance traffic, code 2. All units, code 9. A tenement fire, a tenement fire. Prince Street and Washington Avenue. Repeating, all units. A tenement
I'm Mike Kovac, freelance photographer. Excitement is my business. I find it by poking, prying, and listening. When I find what I want, I record it with my camera. It's fun, money, and people. I don't know which I like best.
Hey, Mike, fire's that away.
Yeah, well, the people are over this way. Besides, I've got my fire shots. Look at that old woman there. There's a whole book written in that face. Well, that kid is a non-property owner. He enjoys a good fire. And that girl.
Hey, some joker just took her picture.
If her picture makes the paper and Keiko spots it, we're sunk. I want that camera.
Got it.
You better wait over here, Mr. O'Connor.
Hey, man, let me take your picture.
Hey, come back with that! Give me a hand, Kathy.
Hey, sorry, Dad. Like I didn't see you coming, man. I was practicing my dancing.
In an alley, you practice dancing, huh?
Well, you know, like the old lady don't like me using up the carpet. I lost them.
Okay, Esther, where are they?
Where's who, Dad? Hey, maybe if you clue me.
You're not fooling around with gum machines now. That camera's an expensive piece of merchandise. You know, you buy yourself a part interest in a grand larceny rap?
Look, Dad, I ain't even seen your camera. Like I'm just minding my own business when you cats fall in on me. You could have called the cop.
And prove what?
He give you much trouble?
A little lip is all. Rooster's got the camera.
I knew you'd show, Mama. I told the boys I can always count on my daughter.
I can always count on you, too. Released from prison only a week, and already you're in trouble with the police.
Oh, you got it wrong. It ain't the police I'm hiding from.
They'll be here soon. Let's get out of here. We'll bring you a cot and some blankets. It may be a long, hard winter. See you, Marty.
Would you like to tell me what this is all about?
Herbie Cagle. He thought 6 years in prison had softened me up. Got a couple of the boys together and had a try for me in Albany. I was lucky to get away with nothing worse than this.
Why? I thought Irby Kago was your friend.
The team men proved I had a lot of unreported dough stashed away. They couldn't find it. Kago thought maybe he could. I rode the rods down from Albany, bleeding every mile of the way. I was laying here unconscious when them kids found me.
Oh. Yeah, those kids. How can you trust them?
Trust them? They look up to me. They've been looking after me like a mother hen. Not once did any of them ever hustle me for any graft.
We did okay, huh?
You did fine, only one hitch, no film. Mike Kovac, 227 West Waverly Place. Come on.
Trouble with you is you don't understand how it feels to be a big shot.
No. But I do understand what it's like to be his daughter.
What do you mean?
I thought I was out of it 10 years ago when you walked out on Mother and me. Oh, we managed. I made a life without a father. And now you've come back. And you'll come back again, too, when you find you need me for something.
I filed a report on the stolen camera, then rushed to my apartment. Speed is vital to a freelance photographer. The trick is to shoot the best possible pictures you can, then get them developed, printed, and sold before the next guy beats you to it.
Now, don't get all shook up, man. We're not here to cause trouble.
Oh, man, we're here to uncause it.
Just a boyish prank, you understand, Mr. Kovac. Brewster never meant to keep that camera. Very nice pad you got yourself here.
Look, I'm kind of busy right now.
Hey, don't let us hang you up, Dad. We're just gonna browse around.
Out.
Why get salty, Dad? Cool it, will ya? I mean, we made a special trip all the way across town, you know.
What Rooster's trying to say is, we thought you'd show us those pictures you took tonight.
Why, you're not in any of them anyhow.
You mean you printed them already?
Yeah. Stay out of there. You know this is breaking and entering?
Well, not really. Let's see. We rang the bell, you let us in. We're your guests. Of course, if the party should get a little rough, well, it was just one of those things.
A real tough bunch. You're tough like a coat of cheap paint. First bad stretch of weather comes along, it peels right off.
Maybe you're the paint remover?
If you don't get your boy out of that dark room, we'll soon find out. Nothing was disturbed. Thousands of dollars worth of equipment, yet nothing had been taken. Except... It wasn't an accident. The only things missing were the negative and a print of the girl. Someone was determined to keep her picture out of the paper, and that made me equally determined to find out why. But the kids had overlooked one fact, that dehumanized the original camera. And my eye remembered that photo. Pop, I hope you don't mind me going through your portrait file.
Mind, but of course not.
You know, I keep meaning to come by all the time, but one thing happens at another, you know.
I know. Busy. It is a proud thing to see my son's work in every magazine and newspaper. Only one thing, Michael.
What's that, Pop?
Small criticism. Never enough light you use. Pictures are meant to be seen, you know.
Okay, Pop, I'll work on it. Hey, this is what I'm looking for. It's all flat lighting. Same angles, too. It's perfect. See? These lips? These are her lips, Pop.
Certainly, those are her lips.
Pop, I'm gonna have to cut up some of your pictures.
Cut my pictures?
You still have the negatives, don't you?
Oh, a complete file.
These eyes, Pop. They look like her eyes. Yeah, these ought to do. Yeah, this ought to do for the eye.
You haven't touched your teeth.
Pop, this is important. I gotta find this girl.
Here in the neighborhood there are plenty nice girls.
You know, I don't even know this girl's name. I don't know where she lives or anything about her. But I gotta have a picture in order to help me find her.
Out of 9 million people, you are going to find one girl? Impossible.
You're probably right. But I gotta give it a try. I think there's a picture story in it, Pop. Yeah, now come here, look at this. That's her. Now all I've got to do is find her. I had to begin someplace, and the logical starting point was the neighborhood where I'd seen the girl the night before. But I was in their territory now, an outsider without a passport. It was a tight-knit, hostile neighborhood, distrustful of strangers, suspicious of anybody. You could get someone to tell you the time of day, maybe. You know who this girl is?
What's he want? We give him back his camera?
Yeah, but we also give him a hit in the head, remember? Maybe it smartened him up a bit. We better keep an eye on him.
Hey, hold it.
Hey, what was that for?
Typical teenager. I'm doing a series. Would you like to see a picture in the paper?
Well, that depends.
Oh, you mean on what's in it for you, huh? Sure, that's what makes you a typical teenager. Well, I'm paying $1 to everyone who gives me permission to use their photograph. Now, here's one I took yesterday of a girl. I didn't get a chance to pay her. Who she is?
You sure you're a photographer?
Well, if I'm not, I wasted a lot of money on a camera.
Suddenly you don't know nothing about nothing. Hey, you seen this?
Huh?
Look, right here.
What? What a rotten thing to happen. Herbie Cagle dead. This is gonna cost us.
Hey!
Let him go. He learned this lesson. We gotta go find IQ.
Hi, fellas.
I'll wait outside.
Well, what's the score?
Not so good, Marty.
Rooster here spotted someone around the neighborhood asking questions. Tall, thin guy with a mustache. He swears it's Herbie Cagle.
Well, this time I'll be ready for him.
You stage a shooting match here, it's up lemons for everybody.
What else am I gonna do? I crawl out that front door, I'm a dead man.
You don't go out the front door. We're taking you over the roofs. There'll be a panel truck waiting at the end of the block.
Yeah? Then where?
Spot I know outside Great Neck. They'd never find you in a million years.
You're good boys, all of you. Marty'll never forget.
Only one thing, Marty. It's gonna cost.
What don't? There you are. This should do it for a nanny. When you need any more, it's here for you.
Better get your things together. We'll be back for you in half an hour. It's cutting it pretty thin as it is.
Man, like, what a square.
Did you unload the gun?
I'll never know it was touched. Oh, a ding-a-ling like that ever kept alive so long.
Hey, don't knock. He was up there in the top rung once.
You'd never know it. He looks just like any busted-up old con.
Yeah, but the difference is that this old con has got $500,000 socked in a hole somewhere.
And we better be close when he digs it up.
Oh, we'll stick like glue.
Yeah, what about after? Marty Delgado won't like playing center.
Well, Marty's pretty badly shot up. I just don't think he's gonna recover. Come on.
Let me alone. Keep her away from me. I don't know nothing.
You afraid the boys will stomp you again? They do that kind of regularly, don't they, huh?
I'll show them.
You know, you can show them right now. You don't want to see them hurt that girl, do you?
Ain't gonna hurt her. They're just protecting her.
I'll tell you what. You take a message to her from me, and I'll give you $5.
Oh, bug off, Dad. They make me anywhere near that condemned tenement building, they drop the sidewalk on me.
Here's your 5. A condemned tenement building, the boy said. There was only one in the neighborhood.
What do you want?
Well, my name is Mike Kovac. I'm a freelance news photographer. I took your picture last night at the fire.
What are you doing here?
Well, it looked to me like you were in trouble, and I thought maybe I could help.
You're mistaken. There's nothing wrong.
Well, then... Well, how come you're hiding out up here?
Please. Please go away and leave me alone.
Say, who's in there?
No one.
That's far enough. All right, Norma. Bolt the door. All right, wise guy. Start talking.
You're Marty Delgado.
Oh, what do you know? I said talk. Where's Herbie?
Well, who's Herbie?
Father, I don't think Herbie sent him. I think he's telling the truth about being a photographer. I saw him last night at the fire.
That's just a blind. I know how Herbie works.
Are you talking about Herbie Cagle?
Like you didn't know.
Well, if you're hiding out from him, you can stop right now. He's dead.
Dead?
Yeah, the Albany police had a skeet shooting contest last night, and he wound up as a clay pigeon.
You're lying. The kids told me they saw him in the neighborhood less than an hour ago.
Well, they know better, because all the papers have been carrying headlines about the shooting.
I told you not to trust those kids. All they want is your money.
It's some kind of a trick, I tell you. Those kids wouldn't lie to me. Why, they look up to me. Besides, they wouldn't dare try anything on Marty Delgado. They know how I used to handle double-crossers in the old days.
Oh, I get the picture now. Marty, you've been had by a bunch of kids who don't remember the old days.
Shut up.
All right, but you better face it. All they want from you is the money you're supposed to have stashed away. And once they've got that, they'll kill you as fast as Irby Cagle would. And her, too.
Not while I got this.
Well, we'd better get out of here right now.
Marty, open up. The truck's waiting outside.
All right, I'll open up. Only first buy me a paper and slip it under the door.
So maybe this cat just looked like Irby. Anyone can make a mistake.
Sure, kid, I understand. Only what do you got the truck waiting for? If Irby's plowed under, who am I running from?
Okay, Marty, cards face up. Open the door, no one gets hurt. Otherwise...
Otherwise what? You don't scare me. I got a gun pointed right in your direction.
Go ahead and pull the trigger. Go ahead and pull it. You don't think we're dumb enough to leave a loaded gun around? An old man like you might hurt yourself. I promise you, Marty, you make us do this the hard way. That pretty daughter of yours isn't going to look so pretty anymore.
If you don't leave, I'll scream for the police.
Go ahead and scream. No one's going to hear you.
This door's so rotten, it wouldn't take them long to break it down.
Wait a minute. What's the use, Father? Why don't you just give him the money?
No.
You heard what they said they'd do to her if you didn't?
You don't understand. I can't. It's here.
It's here?
Sure, it's been here all the time. They just didn't know.
Go find something to bash the door in. I'll wait here.
You don't think if I handed over those kids, we'll just walk out of here, do you? They know Marty Delgado. I may be old and washed up, and I may be a joke to those kids, but they know they'd have to kill me just the same.
Where is it? Where did you hide it? Marty, there's only one way out of this mess. They're right. You can murder a man in the street in this neighborhood, nobody would even turn his head. But there's one thing that attracts attention the world over, and that's money. Now, if you take it and toss it out the window, in 2 seconds flat, the entire population will be right out front.
Toss that out there? Are you kidding? That's everything I got in the world.
Well, it's our necks if you don't.
Well, it's easy enough for you to talk. It ain't your dough.
Marty, you've always been a big spender. Now, what can you buy that's more precious than your daughter's life?
There must be some other way. Give me a hand. What's good money if you don't put it in circulation, huh? I always say if you're gonna do something, do it big.
Like I said, being a freelance photographer has its moments. It's fun, sometimes money, but always people. It'll be a long time before I forget Norma Delgado. And as for her old man, at least he went out with a big splash.
Beautiful, Michael. Just beautiful. Except...
Oh, I know, Pop. Not enough late.
With a Camera, starring Charles Bronson.
This is not Reno or Las Vegas where gambling is legal. It's a few hours out of New York City across the state line where it's illegal. I'm Mike Kovac, freelance photographer, made up to look like a big spender. Because tonight I was up against fast and dangerous company. Evening. Pretty lively down there, isn't it? Oh, I wonder if I can see Mr. Bradman. I'd like to cash a check.
Come in.
Mr. Bradman?
Yes?
I'd like to cash a check, if I may.
Certainly. Always glad to accommodate our guests. With proper identification, of course.
Oh, naturally.
Cigarette?
Thank you. Allow me.
Thank you.
I really don't need much.
Well, now, let's not be shy, my friend. Perhaps as collateral, you might care to leave your lighter camera. The one you just took my picture with.
Oh, I guess we can forget this dodge, huh?
I observed you earlier in the gaming room. One of my boys recognized you. Mike Kovac, isn't it?
That's right. Why don't you stop me sooner, before I shot so much film?
All right, Kovac. The camera. Oh, no, don't be hasty, girl. After all, Mr. Kovac's a very distinguished photographer. Now tell me, just what brought you here, Kovac?
Well, I figured it wouldn't be too hard to sell a nice layout on a crooked gambling house.
Especially with an election coming up, huh? Very enterprising. Although I hardly like that term, crooked gambling house.
Well, that's a little expression I picked up from reading John Payson's speeches. You know, he's been blasting you all during his campaign. If he wins that election for governor, you're going to be closed down. So I figured I'd take some pictures before the place was boarded up.
I see. Well, Mr. Kovac, if the shot you just took of me turns out good, send me a print, will you? Nice to have met you.
You're not going to take the film?
Why should I? Mr. Payson claims I'm dishonest. But I run an honest house, and I hardly think stealing your film would be an honest gesture. Good night, Mr. Kovac.
Good night.
Are you crazy? Those pictures will give the Payson campaign a real boost.
No. They're not very important, Earl. It's the pictures Kovac plans to take next that I'm interested in.
What?
You see, I happen to know that he's already made arrangements to photograph Payson's family sometime this week.
So what? It can only hurt us.
On the contrary, Earl, I think Mr. Kovac's photography can help us very much. You see, I have someone in Mr. Payson's household who works for me.
Last night, pictures of a gambler with crooked money riding on a political campaign. Walter Bradman. Today, an honest lawyer who had sworn to smash the gambler syndicate if elected. John Payson. I didn't know it yet, but I was being set up as the fall guy in the fight between these two. All right, now hold it. Thank you. Now you can relax.
Mr. Kovac, you sure you don't want some coffee?
Oh, no, thank you. If I start drinking coffee now, then I'll relax and we'll never finish. What I'd like now is some shots of your daughter.
I sent Miss Hollis to get her dressed. She'll be down soon.
Hurry up! Is it true we're going to be in all the magazines?
Well, you're going to be in one of them anyhow. Sit down over here now. Would you move this way, Mrs. Payson, please? Right in the middle, Kathy.
Come down.
Thank you. Now make it nice and relaxed, easy, casual. This will be the last shot. Oh, why don't you touch the tip of her nose as though she has a snub nose or something, you know?
She does have a snub nose.
All right, that's enough out of you.
That's it. Now hold it right there. That does it.
Oh, let's take some more.
Hey.
Miss Hollis, would you please take our little chatterbox back upstairs for her study period?
She can't. This is her weekend away.
Oh?
I thought I might drive in with chauffeur when he takes Mr. Kovac back to the station this evening.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I did forget. No, you go right ahead.
Thank you. I'll just take a moment to change.
May I help you, sir?
Oh, yes, please, would you? Thank you.
You know, I don't know what people do with themselves anymore. Gee, it sure isn't like it used to be. A fellow always had somebody to talk to. Now, buy you folks a drink.
Nice young married couple, land's sake. You can tell that a mile away.
No, we're not married. But I will take that drink.
Nothing for me, thank you.
Oh, come on, we're both off duty. I'll get you some.
Say, speaking of people, you know, the first time I ever saw Woodrow Wilson was on a train. I was going to Chicago from Cedar Rapids, that's in Iowa, and I just got on, got myself nicely seated, and I accidentally turned that light. Who do you think I saw? There he was. I never will forget it.
Suddenly the fix was on. I knew it. I didn't know who or why. But I knew what. I didn't have my negatives. And that means panic for a photographer. Oh, he isn't, huh? Well, maybe you can tell me. Was there anybody else out there taking pictures of Mr. and Mrs. Payson?
No, sir. And you did not leave any film holders here, sir. I took your equipment myself to the porch and handed it to the chauffeur. Did Mr. Kovac leave any film holders in the car when you drove him to the station yesterday?
No.
Mr. Kovac, I've just spoken to the chauffeur. Nothing was left in the car.
All right, thank you very much. Oh, Mr. Payson, I was just trying to get in touch with you.
I can well imagine you were, Mr. Kovac. All right, Kovac, just what is it you want?
Well, sometime at your house, I picked up the wrong case of film. Now, what I've got here are scenics. There's the Hudson River and the George Washington Bridge.
Let me put it this way, Kovac. Just what do you think you'll hold me up for?
Hold you up for?
You don't know.
No what, Mr. Payson?
You remember the picture you took of me and my wife and daughter seated on the sofa?
These are slot machines.
The man next to me is Walter Bradman, the gambler I've sworn to shut down. The other man is his associate. But of course, you know them both. And this one is even better. The pose where you had me reaching down to help my daughter Kathy up from the sofa. And this one is your masterpiece. Recognize me touching the tip of my wife's snub nose?
You know, Mr. Payson, these are all composites.
Exactly. Done by an expert, Kovac. Just what are they paying you for helping in this blackmail scheme?
Oh, no, wait a minute. You don't think I had anything to do with it? I told you I lost my case of film.
All of those poses were staged exactly to match up with these. And I give you credit. But there's one thing you've forgotten. Blackmail is a felony. And unless you retrieve every single one of those prints and all of the negatives, I'll be curious to see how you composite yourself out of a penitentiary cell with your trick camera. Think it over.
I was ready to blow up, so I went to see Pop.
Since a small boy, I know doors are to jump through, not walk in by.
I'm sorry, Pop. What'd you find out for me?
Who had possession of your films?
I had them. They were never out of my possession. Payson's servant, he did help me carry the stuff out to the car. And then the chauffeur, he loaded the bags into the car. When we got to the station, he unloaded them.
I would like to see the composites. Perhaps they will tell us something. I would say beautiful composite work. Control of light source, matching the action. But of course, impossible.
Why impossible?
In this city, 3 men only had this artistic quality. 2 are now dead, and the 3rd one is in prison. I will show you. At a photographer smoker. This was in a beer hall. Mr. Marek Stephens, dead. Mr. Jacob Ignaski, dead. And lastly, the man who is now in prison.
Let me see that. Oh, I know him. This guy was the talkative old man in the club car on the train. What's his name, Bob?
Clyde Basser.
Basser.
Knowing the name is one thing, knowing where he is another horse. Obviously, he's no longer in prison.
Look, Pop. Call Lieutenant McTavish at homicide. Ask him for Basser's address. Now, he's the next convict, so it must be on file.
Where will you be?
I'll call back. You'll do it, huh?
So, what are fathers for?
Hey, you can't barge in here.
Well, that's all right, Earl.
Get him out of here so we can talk.
Earl, Mr. Kovac wants to talk.
You know why I'm here?
Well, I assume it's because you took some excellent pictures of me in my place and you'd like to sell me a few prints, right?
I think you're the only one who can benefit from embarrassing John Payson. And I think you're responsible for stealing my negatives and hiring a man by the name of Clyde Basser to make composites.
Basser, huh? No, I don't believe I've ever heard of a man named Basser. As a matter of fact, what is all this talk about composites anyway?
Don't play it dumb. I want my negatives. You turn them over to me now, there'll be no squawk. But I'm telling you right now, man, you use any part of my work on a scandal campaign against John Payson, and I won't stop until I've found Basser and proved that you faked those composites.
I see. Tell me, Kovac, are you interested in making any money?
Not your kind. And I'm not going to settle for anything less than those negatives.
Well, now, not so fast. I really don't know a thing about these negatives. I was merely curious as to the kind of man you were.
All right, you have it your way. But if I can prove you're behind a stunt like this, you're going to be washed up for good, even if Payson loses the election. Oh, miss.
I was just about to send for you. How many times have I told you to keep your mouth shut?
Brad, honey.
You told Mike Kovac about Bosser.
Why would I tell him?
Because Bosser told me you were drinking with him in the club car. I've told you never to drink.
I had one. Well, so maybe it was two. What difference does it make? You know I wouldn't let any name slip.
Well, Kovac knows somehow. And if he ever gets to Bosser, we're... Well, never mind. I'll handle Bosser in my own way.
Now, wait a minute. He's an old man. What do you think you're going to do?
Well, now, honey, I'm not going to hurt him. If that's what you're worried about. Just get him out of the way for a little while. Like a nice little vacation trip to Florida. Till after we beat Payson in the election. Huh?
Yeah, but...
Now, you better go on back to the house.
Okay, but no rough stuff with the old man, huh?
Come in.
Bosser.
Oh. A little late to be calling in. Even if a fella could sleep in this heat.
Well, now, that's just what I came here about. Say, how would you like to take a nice trip up north, huh? To a cool cabin on a lake.
No.
All expenses paid.
No, I'm on parole. I can't leave the city.
Now, listen, Mike Kovac knows about you. So I say you're getting out of here. Now, tonight.
Just wait a minute. Just take it easy. We had an agreement. I did the job. Now I'm through. Now you get out of here and let me go to sleep if I can.
Oh, look, I'm not going to fool with you, old man. You're going to do exactly as I say.
Hey, just take it easy. Now, before I leave this city, I'd go to that parole officer and I'd tell him I just thought this was some kind of a practical joke you were pulling.
One word out of you.
It wouldn't be any good to go threatening me. Now just get out of here and let me sleep.
Look! You think
Get it out!
Let you spoil this whole deal? You're out of your mind! You're out of your mind!
Yeah, Pop, I know where the street is. It's in Greenwich Village, I believe. What number did the lieutenant say? 16? All right. Don't worry, Pop. I'm the carefulest son you got. Yeah, I know. The only one, too. All right, bye, Pop.
Mr. Bosser? Mr. Bosser?
old man cried Pasa he was dead, Michael.
Yeah, he was dead, Pop. The police were there.
But you don't believe it was an accident.
Oh, I didn't say that, Pop. This is why I'm working this bluff. See if I can find out. Now this is a picture I took of Bradman in his office when I lit a cigarette. This is one of the old man lying dead in the alley with his arms spread out. This I took at a fifth, wide open. And this is a picture of the room background.
So
I put them all together into this composite. What do you think? Well?
Perfect. That is, if you don't look too close.
Well, Pop, this is bait for a trap. If I can get Miss Hollis to turn against this hoodlum gambler, that's about all I can hope for. I drove out to the Paysons that same night. All I'm trying to do is square myself with you people. And here's some proof. That's a shot of Miss Hollis in the casino. Now, she really works for Bradman, not for you. That's how he knew that I'd be here that day to take pictures.
And you think she exchanged the film?
No, but I think the old man, Clyde Bosser, made the switch when I went to the bar in the club car. After I figured it all out, I went to Bosser's apartment. But Bradman got there before me. And they had a fight. He pushed the old man off the balcony. He's dead.
You're lying. They wouldn't dare kill him.
It's true, Miss Hollis.
I don't believe you. This is some kind of a trick.
But I saw it with my own eyes. He's dead.
Brad promised me they wouldn't hurt him. Father was an old man. Just wanted to be left alone. He didn't want to get mixed up in this thing. I talked him into it. And now he's dead.
I'm sorry, Miss Hollis. Was Bradman behind this whole blackmail scheme?
Yes, he was.
Stay with me.
I'm going to borrow this for just a little while, Mr. Payson.
Miss Hollis, wait. Miss Hollis, wait. The pictures are fake.
Hello, honey. What are you doing here?
Get out.
Sure.
You killed my father. Now I'm going to kill you.
Honey, listen, you're all wrong.
You were there. So was Mike Kovac. He took this picture from across the street on the fire escape.
No, nobody was there. He couldn't possibly have seen me.
You shouldn't have killed him, Brad.
No, baby, it was an accident.
He was an old man. Sometimes he was hard to get along with, but you shouldn't have killed him.
Will you let me tell you what happened?
This picture tells it.
But it doesn't tell the whole truth. It was an accident. I tried to save him.
You once told me that if you shoot a man in the stomach, it takes a long time to die.
She was going to shoot me. She was going to kill me.
Don't move, I warn you. He's got something he has to confess. I want you to hear him say he murdered my father.
But I didn't murder him. It was an accident, I tell you. He stumbled. I couldn't help him.
You're lying! I'm sorry, Mr. Payson. I'll testify to anything you want. The illegal gambling, the blackmail pictures, anything.
Why did you have to be snooping around with your camera? The fire escape.
What fire escape are you talking about?
The one on the opposite balcony.
There's no fire escape there. That's just a brick wall.
What about this?
Oh, that's just a photo composite that I made up. They're fun, aren't they? You dumb, dumb dame. You stupid. Hold it.
I think it's about time we let the police in on this. What do you think, Mike?
Yes, sir, Mr. Governor.
As evidence of the traitorous crime of negotiating with the enemy.
Negotiating? He joined me in a drink.
Is it your habit, Mr. Crane, to drink with police officers?
If it please the court, I think we've already established that the cafe was crowded and that the police officer was seated by a waiter at the table with the defendant through no choice of his own.
Mr. Corelli?
At the time the defendant was seen with the officer, the cafe was less than 1/3 filled.
Does the defense desire to make a statement?
I'm afraid not, Colonel.
Well, I have a statement to make. I don't recognize the authority of this court.
When you joined us, you agreed.
I didn't know I have to call a lousy corporal colonel. I didn't know he was running a black market operation like it was an attack on a Maginot Line.
Crane, you're out of order. It's all right. Let him talk.
Oh, what's the use, huh? You got yourself to the point where you actually believe you graduated from West Point. So let's get it over with, huh? Expel me from the regiment, strip me of my rank and my medals in the village square at high noon, and send me home in disgrace.
The prisoner will rise and face the court. Crane, for the crime of high treason, for giving aid and comfort to the enemy in time of war, it's the decision of this court that you be executed.
With a Camera, starring Charles Bronson.
I didn't think you were serious about calling me back into the service.
Well, yes and no. You are still on reserve status, and I could make it official. But because of the nature of the work, I'm afraid there might be some raised eyebrows in the Pentagon.
Well, suppose you tell me about it. Maybe we'll have some raised eyebrows right here in the office.
Lieutenant?
Mr. Kovac, the colonel tells me you were a top photographer in Korea.
Lieutenant, you know all about me. Tell me about your problems.
My post is Paris, criminal investigation. We're going after army deserters, leftover mainly from the war, who have formed a hardcore criminal element in Europe. They've been involved in murder, blackmail, the black market.
There's one outfit in particular, headed by a former corporal who became impatient with the slow promotion in the army, deserted, and calls himself colonel.
Just last week, we found one of his men shot to death. Executed would be a better word.
Executed?
He was an informer. He told the French police that the colonel was planning to kidnap Hank Fletcher during the Cannes Film Festival.
Hank Fletcher, big movie star. Who'd pay to get him back?
His studio. No matter what you may think of him personally, he's worth millions to them. Now, we could prevent his coming to Cannes, but then the gang will just switch their interest to another star, and which of the hundreds of stars who will attend the festival, we have no way of knowing.
This is our one chance to round up the colonel and his men. This time we have the big edge of knowing exactly what his next crime will be.
Yeah, but why do you want me? Seems to me that you and the French police could do a very good job of guarding Fletcher.
Well, we can, in and around the hotel. But to have him protected at all times would just frighten off the colonel.
As a photographer who's been around celebrities a lot, you could stick pretty close to Fletcher without arousing suspicion.
You know, this Fletcher's a pretty rough guy. He's been a soldier of fortune, fought in 3 different wars. I'd say he could pretty well take care of himself.
We're counting on that. Between the two of you should be able to handle any trouble until Lieutenant Lurie's men and the French gendarmes move in.
Will he know about me?
No, he wouldn't stand for it. A bodyguard would interfere with his, romantic maneuvers. Have you ever met him?
Yeah, he once busted a camera of mine over a reporter's head.
You will, of course, work in civvies, but you will have your reserve rank of captain.
How do you like that, Lieutenant?
Our plane leaves at 1400 hours. That's exactly 2 hours and 20 minutes from now. Sir.
Has Annette made contact with Fletcher?
We wasted a lot of carefully worked out plans there, Colonel. All she had to do was smile at him and he flipped.
I figured as much. You know, an officer can study for 10 years and not learn half the strategy a pretty woman is born with. We better go over these plans again. Now, this is the road they're going to take to Nice. There's Juan-la-Pigue, and that will suggest a side road into the mountain. Now, that's here. Now, your stations are marked. Here, here, and here. Now, I'll stay at the command post, coordinating all your reports.
Well, how can you be sure he'll agree to take the side road?
You know Fletcher's reputation. And you've seen Annette?
They were paying us 5 bills for every plane that we knocked down. So when those 5 bandits came down at me out of the sun, all I could think of was $2,500.
But, Sheriff, 5 of them against only 1 of you?
What could I do? Any way you look at it, there is only 1 of me. So there I was at 6,000 feet. I did a half turn, flipped over my back, then zoomed straight up.
Then what happened?
I was killed. I'll be right back, baby. I just have to shoot down one of the enemy. Didn't I once bust a camera of yours?
That's an apology, forget it.
I don't get it. First you're at the airport in Nice taking pictures of me when I get off the plane. Then you're in the hotel lobby when I sign in, and now you follow me to the lake.
Well, you see, I'm doing a spread on you. You've become my hobby.
I have a feeling you'd be much happier collecting stamps or taking pictures of Bridget Bardot for a change.
Oh, why? What's she got?
An even temper.
Qui est-il?
The president of my fan club. Let's get out of here. I hate autograph hounds.
You have not forget we are driving tonight to Nice.
We'll go back to the hotel and get dressed. I'll meet you at the bar at 7.
He's leaving for Nice at 7.
We can't patrol 30 kilometers of mountain road at night. You'll have to stop him.
Yeah, well, I have seen his date. Steel chains couldn't hold him back. Well, maybe I can intercept the girl. I'll tell you what. See if you can delay Fletcher until 7:30. I don't care how you do it. Have him arrested
Question him, slug him, I don't care. But buy me a half an hour. Hello there. You alone?
I am never alone, monsieur, except by choice.
Yeah, I can believe that.
And at this moment, I do not choose to be alone. Cognac.
2. Yeah, believe me, baby. This guy Fletcher's nothing but grief for any woman.
But they said every woman in Hollywood would like to marry with him.
That's right. And half of them already have. Listen, honey, why don't you and I just quietly sneak out of here,
But I have promised Hank.
Well, he'll be disappointed, but he's been stood up before. Besides,
I think you're annoying the young lady.
is your husband your brother? Am I annoying you? So there you are. So what's the big fuss about? You know, it's tourists like you two who give Americans a bad name.
Mom, beat it, punk. The young lady already has a date.
What's the difference if... Yeah, that's right. She already has a date. How did you know that?
On your way, punk.
Come on, baby, let's get out of here.
What's going on here?
Hey, Fletcher, I'm glad to see you. Hereafter, you better be careful who you pick up.
What kind of a crack is that?
Your little playmate here just stole my wallet.
You are lying. I do not steal.
Look in her purse. Go ahead, look. Call the police.
You placed the Army in a very embarrassing position, Mr. Kovac. Getting an innocent girl jailed.
Well, there wasn't time for anything else. And besides, she's not so innocent. And she's obviously the lure the gang planted to draw Fletcher out to where they could get at him.
How do you know that?
With those two bully boys. They knew that she had a date with Fletcher. She probably phoned in a report.
Just the same, I don't like the idea of getting on...
Lieutenant, please, stop worrying. Fletcher's arranging her release right now. She'll be out by morning. I heard him make a date with her to drive the niece.
We've got to stop them.
That's the one thing we don't want to do. You want to grab the colonel and his gang, don't you? Well, tomorrow's our best chance. We know the time and we know the route.
What are your plans?
Oh, the first bit of daylight, I'm going to go out there and investigate the area. You know, we should familiarize ourselves with that battleground.
If Annette hadn't been so greedy, we'd have had him by now. She said she didn't take the wallet, and I believe her. I think this Mr. Kovac deliberately planted it on her.
Why would he do a thing like that?
I don't know. But I do know he seems to be constantly underfoot.
So we scrapped the plan.
Certainly not. Our objective remains the same. Only it now seems there's an obstacle in the way of that objective. So, we follow and remove the obstacle.
I got up early to take some shots along the road to Nice. But what I didn't know was that someone else had the same idea. everything I wanted, but I was being shot at.
These are very good. But there's 30 kilometers of road between here and these. You don't have 1/10 of that.
Well, like you said, Lieutenant, we can't patrol the whole area, even with the help of the French police. So the kidnapping will have to take place about right here.
Well, how do you plan to arrange that?
In every military engagement, the battle is half won if you can get the enemy to meet you on a battleground of your own choosing.
True, but won't it be dangerous to interfere with their plans?
That's the one thing we mustn't do. Now, Fletcher and Annette are driving to Nice, right?
Mm-hmm.
We'll let them. Our job is to stop them right here.
I must admit it's a neat trick, if you can do it.
Oh, we can do it. We know that Fletcher drives a rented car.
But, monsieur, what you're asking is impossible.
Impossible for an automobile to break down?
We guarantee against all defects. Now, for Monsieur Fletcher's auto to break down, as you suggest, why, we would have to refund his money.
We'd make good any loss.
Monsieur Parnot, do you know how many kilometers per liter your vehicles get?
But of course, did I not, it would be impossible to figure the rates.
I mean exactly how many kilometers?
That is precisely what I meant, monsieur.
Oh, good. Here. Do you know this spot?
Oh, yes. When I was young and could borrow a vehicle, this was the spot.
That's fine. Now, we checked the distance from Fletcher's hotel to this spot. It's 14 3/10 kilometers.
Could you figure the amount of gasoline it would take to drive Mr. Fletcher's car into roughly this area?
14 3/10. Now, there are about 6 stoplights on the boulevard de la Croisette. At best, one can make half of them. Et puis ensuite, il y a le tournant, le passage niveau, ça monte, et ça redescend. Ça fait environ 348, 22. Et voilà. Here is the figure. I have also taken into account the steepness of the grade of the road. And I have allowed for the heavy foot that you Americans have on the gas pedal. Very wasteful.
Many thanks, monsieur.
Mm-hmm. What's our next move?
Well, I've got to stay out of sight. Now, as far as they know, they killed me this morning. So you send one of your men down and fix the gas gauge on Fletcher's car so that it reads full all the time.
That's easily done. He garages it at the hotel. We can get at it.
That's good. And send another man down to drain the gas tank so that there's just the exact amount left. And place your men around this area here. I'll follow Fletcher in my car.
It looks foolproof. Tell me, are you a student of battle tactics, Mr. Kovac?
Battle tactics. I once lived in a broken-down old tenement. I learned how to set a simple rat trap.
Charlie Boy to Mother Hen, I spotted the tiger. He's on the road directly below my post, headed northwest approximately 40 miles an hour.
Roger, they should hit the turnoff in 4 minutes.
Charlie Boy to Mother Hen, there's another cat following the tiger. About a half a mile behind, traveling about the same rate of speed.
Able Rat to Mother Hen. The tiger just passed my post, traveling at about 40 miles an hour.
Roger. Charlie Boy, start for the villa immediately. Able Rat, you will wait 3 minutes and then join us. Come in, Red Fox.
Red Fox, I read you, Mother Hen.
If by any chance they do not take the turnoff, you will follow them and report back.
All right, I'm stopped. Now what?
I have an idea. Let's take that road. It leads to a lovely little auberge.
Auberge?
What you call an inn. A glass of wine would be refreshing, n'est-ce pas?
Uh-huh.
Any sign of them, Sergeant?
No, sir. We have men on both sides of the road and an advance scout about a mile back.
What about Mr. Kovac?
No sign of him either. The road is clear. Both cars seem to have disappeared, Lieutenant.
What is the trouble?
I think we're out of gas. Pas d'essence. And I've seen the times I've prayed for this to happen.
Mother Hen to Red Fox. The Tiger is past due. Have they continued on the main road?
Red Fox to Mother Hen. The Tiger hasn't passed me. He must be on the side road.
Mother Hen to all units. I'm driving down to check.
Kovac, you've had it.
Come on, we gotta get out of here. There's some guys on our way to kidnap you.
Why don't you stop it, Kovac?
Come on, it's not a joke. They'll be here any second.
Oh, I'm sure they will. You know, the things that you won't do for a picture spread. Well, I'm going to give you something to tell your editor about. Now get out of here and take your phony kidnappers with you.
So I haven't got time for a fair fight. I'll be back in a second, Cherie.
Now, what's going on here?
Oh, this guy passed out, and I was about to take him back to town.
It is not true. He came to warn Monsieur Fletcher. He knows all about your plans.
You know, I thought you were something more than a photographer. And my intelligence officer was mistaken when he told me you were disposed of. Odd, isn't it? After the planes are through dropping their bombs, the artillery barrage is still. It's up to the man with a gun. A common foot soldier to take and hold this battleground.
Are you recruiting? You need all this, don't you, to make it seem like a glorious battle for freedom and liberty, huh?
Well, there are certain similarities. For instance...
Fletcher, take my car and get some help.
Why, you seem to be doing fine.
This guy's not alone. The others will be here any minute.
You know, Kovac, you fight dirty.
Oh, man, I'll give you a fair chance at a fight later. Just do what I tell you.
You all right, Mr. Kovac?
Yeah, that's the colonel there.
We killed 2 of them. My men have the other one. He was shot up pretty bad. You all right, Mr. Fletcher?
Oh, I'm just fine. I've had my car sabotaged, my beautiful date ruined, and I get slugged from behind by your friend here. I didn't get to see this much action with the Flying Tigers.
You ought to be grateful to Mr. Kovac. He probably saved your life.
Who needed him? These men wouldn't have killed me. The studio would have paid up and everything would have been all right.
You sound like you wanted it to happen.
Maybe I did. This way Annette gets sent up for kidnapping, and by the time she gets out, she'll be too old to be interesting.
Au revoir, mon pauvre petit. Perhaps we will meet again in 10 years.
10 years? Kovac, I hate you.
You don't know much about French juries, do you?
What do you mean?
Well, they're all men.